right? So it is nothing but, it stands for perimeter in Greek. Actually, that rounded off value 3.141592 has been introduced by Aryabhatta around 17th century. This pi is nothing but the ratio of circumference of the circle towards diameter. So the circumference, as you all know, this is the circumference of a circle and diameter is nothing but this. So to find out the ratio between this circumference and diameter is denoted by pi. And it has got a huge different value, like the number 3 followed by decimal places. So this is the value of this decimal place. Actually, there will not be any repetitive patterns available. So that is why this is the beauty of this particular number 5. So we will be rounding off like 3.14 or 3.141592, not more than that, right? So whenever you find out the area of a circle or perimeter of a circle, whatever you find, we'll be getting an approximate value. Why? Because of this pi, beauty of this pi. So as you see, this pi is not known before, okay, but it has been introduced by Babylonians, and even Egyptians has done it around 1800 BC itself. So the definition of pi centers around the circles. So whenever you consider a circle, the ratio between the circumference and the diameter is nothing but a number which is little bit bigger than 3. That is what pi is all about. So as I said, the history of this pi is nothing but, it is a constant which has got infinite ratio value, and this was introduced by some person that we don't know clearly, but it has been refined by many mathematicians and physicists. This important angle measure is known as radian measure, and around 1761 only this is converted as a irrational number. But there are many mysterious questions behind this pi. So actually, the fact that ratio of the circumference and the diameter of a circle is a constant has been known for so long that it is quite untransferable. So this is what the quote I could find about this pi. And as I said, this was early introduced by Egyptians. Egyptians, during the construction of the pyramid, they have used this pi constant. So it has become theoretical. So Archimedes, who has been known the world clearly, said that the pi value lies between 223/71 and 22/7. So this is the conclusion it has been given. But he has told that it is not exactly equal to 22/7. It has been more prominent for the scientific community to calculate pi more particularly and precisely. So Archimedes is the person who has identified this value lies between 223/71 to 22/7. So the first use of the symbol pi with its current meaning was introduced by William Jones in 1706. He was a Welsh mathematician, and Euler adopted this symbol, and it is soon become the standard form of this pi. So why this pi is very much important is, most important number in the universe is pi, because the universe world has been centralized with this pi value. One of the most important numbers in our universe is the number pi, as I told, as it explores the humankind's odyssey, attempts throughout the ages that truly transcend cultures, computers, approximate values, and understanding energetic numbers. So these things gives the importance for this pi. No other mathematical number has got this much important. That's why it is celebrated as a date. Without pi, we cannot know about our own earth, which is in the form of the sphere. These are the codes I could able to find it. The probability there are no symbol in mathematics has this much of mysterious, romantic, misconsistent, and human interest has been increased. And as we are all, you are all engineers, you will be need to know why, where this is applied, right? So I have given you a slide for what are the uses of pi. So electrical engineers use this pi to solve the problems of electrical appliances, and statisticians use this to track the population dynamics. Medicine benefits of pi where by studying the structure of the eye they use to find the perimeter and diameter, everything. So biochemists use this to find the structure of DNA. So once if you consider a clock designer, he will design the pendulum accordingly. So aircraft people use this to calculate the area of the skin of the aircraft. So these things are the uses of pi. So there are several many worldwide competitions are going for pi. The highest digit remembered so far for the pi's decimals are 42,000. So this is what the current record. A person of 21 years old has remembered this number. So this is the speciality of pi. Okay, actually I would like to tell this speciality of this today's day. That's why I just shown as slight part of our talk as pi concept, right? Now let me go into my topic of today's importance of differential equations in engineering. Now let us consider. Ma'am, can you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Shall I continue? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So the importance of differential equation in engineering. So first, before going into the topic, first you need to know what is a differential equation, why that is important for an engineer. So what is a differential equation? As we all know that differential equation is nothing but an equation that consists of derivatives. So here we could able to see a function f is consisting of variables like t, y, dy by dt. dy by dt is nothing but the derivative in terms of y. So here y is nothing but the independent variable, t is nothing but the independent variable. So different derivative dy by dt is nothing but the derivative term accompanied in this equation, and so on. So nth derivative till nth derivative we can take anything. That everything in an equation is nothing but differential equation. But this, as a mathematician, we are just very much comfortable with taking an equation, solving it, finding the solution, everything we are very much comfortable. But what is the physical meaning for this differential equation? Now let us consider any rate of change, anything that gets changed will be having a differential equation. So being an engineer, any person can model a system. So any system can be modeled only if it is dynamic in nature. So to analyze that, they will be using differential equation. Whatever may be the problem, real-time problem, once they need to analyze it, they will just formulate an equation. That equation can be solved like an ordinary or partial differential equation. So that's why this differential equation is very much important for any person who is able to solve a model or to analyze a model of equation. Now let me consider few application problems and tell you how this differential equation has been used. Now let us just model a chemical reaction. Here let us see to this chemical reaction. What is the chemical reaction? Now we are just take a substance A, A is converted into a substance B. Here the substance A is being converted into substance B at a rate that is proportional to the square of the amount of the substance A. So this is what the given condition is about. So this substance A will be converted into substance B in some particular rate. When time t equal to 0, 60 grams of substance A will be there. After 1 hour, what happens now? Only 10 gram remains unconverted. So the remaining 50 grams has been converted into substance B. Okay. Now the question is, like, after 2 hours, what will be the amount of substance A present in that chemical reaction? Okay, what we'll be thinking now, within 1 hour 50 grams of substance has been converted. Again after 1 hour there will not be any substance at all, we'll be thinking, right? So let us just formulate this equation, right? So what are the conditions given to you are, at time 0, 60 gram of the substance is available. After 1 hour, only 10 gram of the substance A is available. After 2 hours, what will be the converted value of that? So let us consider that Y will be the unconverted amount of substance A after time t. Okay, therefore the rate of change of Y with respect to time t is equal to, as we said, it is proportional to its double square the amount of Y. So it is proportional to Y square. Therefore, that proportionality can be replaced with the constant K. Using this variable separable method, we know how to solve this value for Y. So the value of Y is nothing but -1 divided by Kt plus C. Here C can be calculated by substituting the initial condition, like when time t equal to 0, the substance A is 60. So substituting that particular condition, we will be getting the solution like C equal to -1 divided by 60. Similarly, by substituting after 1 hour, the value of the substance present is 10 gram. Therefore, substituting that, we can able to find out that constant K also. By using the initial conditions, we have identified the value for C and K. Now, in particularly, we could get the solution, or the rate of change of the substance is nothing but Y equal to 60 divided by 5t plus 1. Here this is the amount of the substance available in the system after any time t. Now actually we need to find out the value for t after 2 hours. So t can be replaced with 2. We will get the solution like Y equal to 5.45. So the amount of substance A, unconverted amount of substance A is nothing but 5.45 after 2 hours. This is what the result of that particular chemical problem is all about. Here what I would like to tell is, any mathematician can solve this problem, but seeing the problem as a layman, we cannot solve it directly. As we all know that at 1 hour, the 80% of the substance is over. But after 2 hours, still 5 grams or 5.45 grams is available unconverted. So this is how we can just able to find out the precise solution of any problem. Now let us go with Newton's law of cooling. These things you might have studied in your school itself. That is, any substance will just reduce its temperature and will be as normal as the surrounding temperature. So here capital T is nothing but the temperature of the object, and Ts is nothing but the temperature of the surrounding. Once if you are served with a hot tea, after 10 minutes what will happen? It will just come to the room temperature. That is, the surrounding temperature will affect the temperature. As the temperature's property is like, it will just transfer from the higher temperature to the lower temperature. This concept is being applied. So the rate of change of temperature at time t, small t, is equal to minus K into capital T minus capital Ts. So here rate of change of temperature is proportional to the temperature of the object minus temperature of the surrounding. Here minus K is nothing but it is inversely proportional, therefore this minus K constant is there. So now again this temperature problem has been converted into a differential equation problem. Therefore solving this by separable method, we'll get the solution like temperature of the object equal to temperature of the surrounding plus C into e power minus Kp. Now considering this constants, considering these values and the initial condition, we can able to find out this current temperature of this particular thing. Where this is applied means mostly it is applied in forensics as considering the temperature of the body, dead body, they can able to identify when that murder has been happened. So this is very much applied in real time. Now let us go with another problem. In an oil refinery, a storage tank consists of 2000 gallons of, with initially it has an additive solvent. So some solvent will be added to maintain that particular temperature. That's why it is given a solvent is added in preparation for winter weather. So gasoline consists of 2 lb of additive per gallon is pumped into the tank at a rate of 40 gallons per minute. The well mixed solution is pumped out at a rate of 45 gallons per minute. So how much the additive is in the tank? That is what our question is, right? After 20 minutes, what is the additive present in the tank? So here what is given? A gasoline is present in this tank. 40 gallons of the solvent is dissolved and 45 gallons is taken out. So let us consider the Y as the amount of additive in the tank at time t, and Y equal to 100 when the number of gasolines at additive solution of the tank at any time t. So considering this, we are just going to have V of t is nothing but 2000 gallon plus 40 gallon per minute. That is added because it is added. Okay, in pipe it is 40 gallon per minute and 45 gallon per minute is taken out. So that is given as minus 45 gallon per minute into time t. So multiplying and simplifying this, we will get 2000 minus 5t gallon. Now rate of out is nothing but Y of t divided by V of t into outflow rate. Keeping this, we can able to calculate Y divided by this outflow rate. V of t is 2000 minus 5t into 45. So solving, we can find out the solution. So this is the rate in. So the rate in is nothing but 2 times of 2 lb per gallon at 40 inflow. So multiplying these two, will get rate in is nothing but 80 lb. Now the differential equation is formulated for solving this mixture procedure. So after some time, what is the calculation? Okay, dy by dt equal to 80 minus 45y divided by 2000 minus 5t. So this is a differential equation that can be solved, and we'll get a equation like y equal to 2 into 2000 minus 5t plus c into 2000 minus 5t whole power 9. So this gives the solution for y at any time t. But we are asked to find out after 20 minutes what is the rate. So y at t time equal to 20 will get 1342 LB. So where this type of problems will be applied now for any city with water capacity of that to be distributed to all the houses. There they know the water supply, so the tank will be full. By that time, they will be knowing how many amount of chlorine to be added to the tank. But after half an hour or 1 hour, the amount of chlorine to be added should be reduced because the water content in the tank will be somewhat reduced compared to this. So these type of analysis can be used to find out the correct amount of chlorine that to be added to the water tank. Now let us go with the next population growth problem. Let us consider a first order linear differentiation for the population growth. Here capital P is nothing but the population with respect to time t. Okay, the rate of population rate of change of population with respect to time is proportional to the current population, right? So that can be replaced with dp by dt equal to kt. Here k is nothing but the proportionality constant. P of 0 equal to P naught. Okay, so for calculating any population, we will just consider the population at time t equal to 0 can be some constant. Okay, keeping that, solving this differential equation, we will get the solution P of t equal to P naught e power RT, where R is nothing but the growth rate and P of t is the population at any time t. So to visualize this, we have many different sources. One second, I'll just show you. So once we consider this population growth without any data, right? So we can just go with this. There are several many online tools available. We can just visualize all the mathematical concepts in this. Okay. Now I am just going to show how the population growth will be after some k values are different. Okay, by using Wolfram. Once again, it's getting loaded. Right? So, just a minute. Yeah, I'll just go with this. So, logistic model for population growth. Here, rate of change of population with respect to the carrying capacity. This method, this population model is nothing but the carrying capacity of the environment. What here we talk about carrying capacitance or the environmental resistance is nothing but any place if there are 100 people. If there are 100 people, then the food products, space for living, everything will be adequate for them. But if the place consists of 1,000 members, then the place occupancy, the carrying capacity of the system will be very tough because the food products should be shared with all those 1,000 people. So this is what we call about the carrying capacity of the system, okay, or the environment resistance. And keeping this, we'll just go with R is the growth rate, K is nothing but the environmental resistance or the carrying capacity of the system. Here dP by dt is nothing but rate of growth into P. P is nothing but the population into 1 minus P by K. So this is the system model, and P of t is nothing but K divided by A e power minus RT plus 1. This is the solution of this differential equation, where A is nothing but K minus P naught divided by P naught. P naught is nothing but the initial population value. Now for this logistic model, let us consider P naught. Initially, the population rate is, like, let us consider anything like 171. Okay, so this is the population rate initially. After if the growth rate is like 0.848, then carrying capacity of the system is less, and after some 5 minutes or 10 minutes, sorry, 10 years, what will be the population growth is like 206, right? So this is the, if the carrying capacity is just 222 and the population is 206, then we can able to say that the growth rate is like normal growth rate. Okay, so if the growth rate is increased and the carrying capacity of the system is also increased, then population after the time t is like we'll be having a population growth of 404. Okay, we can able to calculate this. So these things, where and all it is applied now, whenever the bacteria growth in the water, or the virus growth or coronavirus rate of transfer, everything comes under this. Okay, so if the population is less now, the system will be stable. Okay, if the population is high but the carrying capacity of the system is low, means there will be some problem. So this is the another model. Now let us go with prey-predator model. This model, these are all the existing models. Okay, so where this differential equation plays a vital role. The system of first order equation we consider. I think somebody needs to talk. See, anytime you can just ask some doubts.
இவங்க இன்னைக்கேன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க, நான் கடலூர் போயிட்டு மறுபடியும் திருநெல்வேலி போவேன் அப்படிங்கிறாங்க.
Okay, fine. Yeah, prey predator model. So once if we consider if the rabbit's growth is high, then accordingly the fox which eats the rabbit will also grow fast. Okay, so once the fox rate is less, then obviously rabbit rate grows up. So once the rabbit rate grows up, then again the fox rate goes up. Okay, so this is a cycle, like prey get increased, obviously the predator also get increased. If the predator gets decreased, then rabbit value, that is the prey, also gets decreased. Okay, so here the prey predator model is, we got two different variables. X is a variable and y is another variable. These two are dependent variable. Time is the independent variable. So number of preys, it gets this is nothing but dx. X is nothing but the number of preys, y is nothing but the number of predators. So dx by dt is nothing but a into x minus alpha into xy. Here alpha, a, c, gamma are nothing but the parameters with respect to the prey and predator with the time. So ax minus alpha into xy. Similarly, dy by dt is nothing but gamma xy minus c into y. Okay. So this model also we can just calculate by using the Wolfram math. So if you see this model, here a values increased, accordingly the rabbit's growth has got increased, alpha. Okay, so accordingly if the rabbit's growth is increased, accordingly the fox growth is also increased. Once the rabbit rate gets decreased, fox rate also decreases. Okay, accordingly we will have the growth rate of this are interrelated. Once this gets increased, this is also getting decreased. This gets decreased, accordingly rabbit also gets decreased. So these things you can visualize it, right? Let us go to the free vibration of a spring mass system. This many of the mechanical department students has come across. Second order linear differential equation. Once a spring will be damped and damping dashboard is also given, a mass is hanged in this spring. Now once in the constant rate, it will be in some particular place. After some time, once the spring is discharged and it gets moved, then you can just see the vibration in this spring. Okay, so here x of t is nothing but the displacement of the spring, m is nothing but the mass of the spring, c is nothing but the damping coefficient. Here the damping coefficient will help us to fix this in position, and k is the string stiffness of this crane. So keeping all these values, we can able to frame the second order linear differential equation like d square x by dt square plus 2n into dx by dt plus p square x equal to 0. Right? Here these constants p square 2n everything is nothing but from the parameters given here. This also can be solved by using solving a second order linear differential equations. Now let us go with dynamics of a double spring mass. Double spring mass, these type of things we used to see in trains. Okay, so for each compartment there will be a connection point. So these compartments are connected by using a spring. So see here is nothing but this is the first compartment and this is the second compartment are connected with K1, K2 and K3 etc. Right. So this is the spring and this is the mass and spring and mass. Okay. So this is what calculated by using second order differential equation d square x by dt square. X is nothing but displacement of first block and second block, or first compartment and second compartment. K1, K2 are nothing but the stiffness of the first and second spring. M1, M2 are nothing but the mass of the first and second compartments. Okay, this also can be solved by using giving different values for spring and mass system. So we have many things. Like if you consider the first and second spring mass, K1, K2 values, if it is different, then accordingly this displacement of the string will be like this. So first mass displacement is given like this, and the initial velocity, if it is increased, then accordingly there will be changes in the second mass and also in the first mass. Okay, and its velocity with respect to the velocity. Right. So there are many applications are in differential equations. I'd like to say that any system which has got some changes can be identified or solved by using differential equations. Okay, and I got many slides too, but due to time consumption, I'd like to end up here. If you have got any questions, you can ask me right now. Yeah.
Thank you, madam. You gave valuable information, expanded the history of pi and its importance and uses, and about the importance of differential equation in engineering.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Dear students and faculties, if you have any questions, please come forward and pose a question to our resource person.
Yeah, you can pose the questions.
Is there anyone like to pose a question to our resource person?
I think our students will never ask any questions, right?
Yes, thank you, madam. Gratitude is the essence of good mental health and spirituality. May we invite Secretary Prabha, Assistant Professor of Mathematics and Coordinator of this event, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, all. It's my immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, let me start by thanking our management, principal sir, HOD ma'am for their continuous encouragement and support. Next, I wholeheartedly thank Dr. M. Parimala ma'am, who is enlightening our students towards the importance of differential equations. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Last but not least, I thank my students for patient listening. Once again, thank you all.
I'd also like to thank our management and the Department of Mathematics for giving me this nice, wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gus. Thank you all for being with us, for
Thank you,
making
ma'am.
this day a great one.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Parimala, ma'am, a special thanks to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Shall I leave now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Gunasekaran, sir.
சொல்லுங்க மேடம்.
சார் ஆக்சுவலா உங்களுக்கு தான் ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ் பண்ணணும். ரொம்ப ரிசோர்ஸ்ஃபுல் பர்சன் ஒருத்தவங்க நீங்க கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க.
ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ மேடம். தேங்க்யூ மேடம். தேங்க்யூ. ஓகே.
Gayatri.
Ma'am.
Very good, Gayatri. Done well. Last moment, but you have done well with the help of Gunasekaran sir and Prakash. Thank you all colleagues and students. என்னப்பா?
ஒன்னும் இல்ல மேம், nothing.
Okay. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.